Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 o'clock and time to begin our meeting for this month. First thing we'll do is have the invocation, which will be led by Commissioner Baker, followed by the flag salute, which will be led by Commissioner Davis. Please stand.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the freedom of assembly that we may gather here tonight. May we do the best for the people of Yukon and surrounding areas. Be with our first responders and soldiers and sailors in the field. Protect their families at home. And this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Address the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Kathy.
Chairman Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Hatley. Commissioner Baker.
Here.
Commissioner Gerba.
Here.
Commissioner Hatley is absent tonight because he's on a business trip at this time. Item 1 is the approval of minutes of the October 5th special meeting. Do we have a motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gerba.
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Chairman Taylor.
Yes. Item 2 is the visitor section. If anyone is here that would like to address the commission about a non-agended item, now would be the time to do so. Seeing none, we will proceed. Item 3 is to hear a request by Jones Energy LLC for a conditional use permit for the proposed drilling of 3 oil and gas wells from a single pad within the city limits of Yukon. Wells Arcadia 13, 12, and 12-6, 1HX Acadia 13, 12, 12-6, 2HX, and Zion 13, 24, 12, 6, 1HX. A site lying within the south half of the northwest quarter of Section 13, Township 12 North, Range 6 West of the Indian Meridian. And the address of this is along Richland Road. Do we actually have a street address on that, Mitchell?
We don't at this time.
Okay. Mr. Attorney, should I continue, or was that good enough?
I think you can continue. You have the legal description.
Yes.
Chairman.
Okay. Less than accept the following tracts of land, beginning at a point 556 feet north of the southwest corner of said northwest quarter, thence east 554 feet, thence north 764 feet, thence west 554 feet to the west line of said quarter, thence south along said west line of said quarter section 764 feet to the point of beginning, and beginning at a point north 0 degrees 0 minutes east of a distance of 197.91 feet from the southwest corner of the northwest quarter, thence south 88 degrees 10 minutes 5 seconds east a distance of 316.54 feet, thence south 0 degrees 0 minutes 0 seconds west a distance of 885 feet 885.82 feet to the north right-of-way line of the old CIR and P Railroad, thence north 80 degrees 44 minutes 27 seconds west along said right-of-way, a distance of 320.56 feet to the west line of said section 13, thence north 0 degrees 0 minutes and seconds east along said west line, a distance of 844.36 feet to the point of beginning. The northwest quarter of Section 11, Township 12 North, Range 6 West of the Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. There'll be a test on all that before y'all leave tonight. No. Is there someone here from Jones Energy? Please step forward, say your name and your address, please.
Hello, Chairman and Commissioners. Zach Allman. Street address?
Yes,
or-
please, your business address.
Business address is 8308 North May Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73112.
Okay. Tell us about your proposal here, sir.
Well, gentlemen, we have filed for an application to drill 3 oil and gas wells on a single site. I believe the street address I have is 4300 North Richland Road. This is in Section 1312 North 6 West. We bought these leases about a year ago through a sale with Scoop Energy Company, which is Aubrey McClendon's estate. We like this asset. We've met with Mitchell and Kathy, and we've gone over everything we needed to put in this application. It is 3 wells, horizontal wells, 2 to the north from 13 into Section 12 North 6 West, and 1 to the south and 13 down into 24, 12 North 6 West. Again, we've reviewed all of the requirements of the City of Yukon, and we're in agreement with all of that. We even have almost everything you require is already company policy. We're very familiar. Jones Energy has drilled over 300 wells. We're currently, I've already drilled, I think, 10 wells in this immediate area. El Reno, Canadian County, Grady County. We have lots of stipulations in place to be a safe operator. And so we are asking permission to drill 3 wells from that site that was listed previously.
Do you anticipate doing that 24/7?
Yes, sir.
Is there one place occupied on the west side of that road down there, Mitchell, or no? By the railroad tracks?
There is some houses in the immediate area, but they're out of the distance and they're in a different zone where they don't require certain things such as noise reduction.
Okay. And this is down by the railroad tracks?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on Richland Road. How long do you expect to be drilling before you can cap it off and you'll have oil batteries there, tank batteries?
Yes, sir, we will. It's the drilling process for these are 7,500-foot laterals, can take, we can go with about 30 days for each well, so it'd be potentially 3 months where we're drilling, and then to come in with completion operations would be probably another additional 25 to 30 days, so it's potential of 4 months before you're able
5 or
to.
6 months?
Yes, sir.
Mitchell, do they, conditional use permit, after they finish drilling and set up their tank batteries, will they have to come back for continued permit?
As long as they comply with the requirements in the conditional use permit, there's no requirement for it to come back. If at such time it does not comply with the conditions, then they would at that time have to come back for review.
And we have staff members who inspect these plants?
That's correct. Once the production equipment is set, we would review that and make sure that it complies with the city ordinance.
Do we inspect it during drilling time, or?
Typically during the drilling time, we are made aware of that. We work with them. We have talked with them about what they expect of us and what we expect of them for access, for ingress and egress. Typically during the drilling of the well, we're not on site unless there's an issue.
But they would have a road for fire trucks and?
They would have an access point for emergency vehicles to access the site, and at that time, part of the requirement is that they would have an agent that works for Jones Energy meet the emergency response vehicles at the gate and work with them, getting them to where they need to go.
Okay. How many acres is that all that you have?
I believe the pad would be approximately 4 acres.
But there would be
Location.
parking for the work people and everything on site?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, commissioners, other questions?
Well, ostensibly, we're here to approve this conditional use permit, but my understanding of Senate Bill 809 is that municipalities may not effectively prohibit or ban any oil or gas operations exploration drilling, fracture stimulation, completion, production, maintenance, plugging, abandonment, water disposal, or secondary recovery operations. That all of these are subject to the exclusive jurisdiction of the Corporation Commission. So,
Some of these items, as pertain to safety of the city of Yukon and pertain surrounding areas we control, correct, Mitchell, or not?
That's correct.
so we're here to,
Give a conditional use permit, but no, we can't stop them from
yeah,
drilling.
but I mean, I just want,
Well,
just in case there is somebody watching, that we're not here to approve or disapprove the drilling on oil well. We're here to set the conditions of the surrounding area, the traffic, the safety, the fencing,
Correct.
and that's what we're here to do. So,
I do have a related question, though, concerning, it appears that the well is about 2,000 feet from the North Canadian River.
Yes, sir.
It's in the 100-year floodplain. What are the restrictions, Mitchell, concerning developments of this type in that floodplain?
Well, there's a core requirement. We'll deal with that as we go along. There was some more information after this is approved. They will comply with the city ordinance as well as the core requirements for being in the floodplain. There's specific requirements for oil and gas, is basically what I'm stating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it
And
one of
that's for the
those?
production as well as the drilling. So it talks about what they have to do.
So does this, does it go that timeline we've had before where they have to come to the city first and then they have to go to the Corps, but not till they've gone through the city?
What they have to do is get through this process to get all their permits in place.
And then the Corps comes in.
Well, they'll work with the core requirements and provide those to the city engineer for his review.
I do have one question concerning, it says Jones would like to respectfully request that it can begin dirt work on the property if a permit has not been approved by November 1st. So what does that entail as far as the dirt work before you set up the rig and start the rig?
Yes, sir. It's bringing bulldozers in, first creating the lease road to the pad from the site. And so it's bringing bulldozers in and just moving dirt and moving the topsoil off, and then bringing in shale rock to cover the location, and that's it. Nothing going into the ground other than moving dirt.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
And does this conditional use permit, it does not go to the council, does it not?
Yes, it does go to the city.
It does go to council. Okay.
And this is just a recommendation of items that staff had come up with. They do know and understand they have to comply with the ordinance requirements in reference to the floodplain and permitting of the production equipment as well, so they understand that.
So the oil field rig up and down related traffic, I'm very familiar with that. What about the water truck traffic after you're done? Is there any particular traffic plan for that?
At this time, basically, they would access the nearest disposal well that they have a contract with for disposing of the salt water, if that's what you're asking. And he may be able to tell you where their nearest production or disposal well is for
They
them.
also agree to keep up the road, correct?
If they cause any damage to the road, they have agreed to do whatever is necessary to bring it back into compliance.
Well, who determines if they cause that?
We will video it as well as talk with them before we start accessing the site with any heavy equipment of any kind.
Okay.
And then we'll keep that up and watch that just to make sure we don't have any damages to the road.
Good. I have seen what has happened to the roads west of Highway 81 between El Reno and Lucky Star, and it is.
Well, that's one of the reasons that we're trying to provide the access point off of Cimarron Road down 66 to Richland and Richland just to the site. That heavy equipment such as the rig and the parts associated with that, we feel like that is the best access for that. And actually 66 is actually one of the highways that ODOT uses for oversized loads too as well. So we're very comfortable with that. And they'll have to get a permit from any ODOT anyway for transportation of that equipment.
You're familiar with all of these questions, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Okay, further questions? Comments?
I'd like
Yes.
to make one more comment, if that's okay. Well, we put in November 1st for a possible start date if it's not approved, and we understand building would be at sole risk to Jones and purely only building and moving dirt. We've had some recent development plans average around, and I would like to respectfully request if it'd be possible if we could start building possibly this week. Obviously, it's all at the risk of Jones, and so we understand that.
I don't know that this body, if it has to go to the council, I don't know if we can give you permission to do that.
Okay.
Council meets, this would go to the council,
Next meeting is what we're shooting for.
which would be in 2 weeks?
No, it'll be next week.
Would be next
Yeah,
next
next week.
Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday. Okay.
Yes. Any other questions? Anybody in the audience have a question or comment? Yes, sir, if you'd step to the mic and say your name and address, please.
Ron Carroll. I own this property with my brothers, Carroll Resources LLC. I've been in the business 38 years, the oil and gas business, and I've dealt with Jones the last 2 years. They are a very reputable company. What they've told me, they have did all the way through, and I have no problem with it coming in and drilling these 3 wells. I own no minerals, so it's just, you know, a part of them developing their program. But I want you to know that in my 2 years dealing with them, what they've said, they did all the way through. So, and I own the property now, so.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Anyone else have anything they want to say? Okay, I'll call for a draft motion recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, if you guys feel more comfortable, you could include in the requirements that would comply with all city requirements for the drilling and for the production of any wells associated with this approval. If that makes you feel a little more comfortable.
Someone care to read the application?
There's one, what was that, just to make sure.
That one?
On your letterhead,
Yes, sir.
my eagle-eyed colleague here is, on the third thing, that's probably not maximum grass weight.
I'm sorry, which?
Gross weight instead of grass weight? It's a typo.
Oh, gross weight.
Gross weight.
Gross
Oh,
weight.
I don't think I have that. I'm sorry. But yes, it's probably, it's gross weight.
Unless there's another business going on.
Grass weight.
Well, make sure. you- And again, my issue is not with Jones. My issue is with legislators who say that government is best, that it's closest to the people, and then pass Senate Bill 809, and we come in with our rubber stamp, and so if you were the worst oil company in the world, we would be here doing the same thing, frankly. And so I don't think it did any favors to good petroleum companies.
Nope.
Because you only pass laws to protect from the bad ones. So, again, my issue is with some of our fine elected officials.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll call once again. Someone care to read the draft motion?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
In the case of the application for a conditional use permit submitted by Jones Energy Incorporated, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all attachments cited in the staff reports. I move that this item be recommended for approval to the City Council with the following conditions. 1, have access to a water truck during construction of the access road and any other dirt work required for erection of the drill and associated equipment to keep blowing dust to a minimum. 2, a road will be constructed to allow traffic ingress and egress at Richland Road. 3, signs will be posted to direct all oil-filled rig up and rig down related traffic back to the south on Richland Road to go west on Highway 66 to Cimarron Road and south to I-40. Number 4, the applicant will maintain a stormwater pollution prevention plan if directed by the city engineer. 5, signage and flagging as needed on Highway 66 for ingress and egress onto Richland Road for all oil-filled heavy equipment. Number 6, any damages caused to Highway 66 and Richland Road by heavy oil-filled equipment will need to be repaired to city and state standards. 7, applicant will be responsible for site security to prevent public access.
Do you want to add, they shown?
And 8,
maintain city code,
Comply with
Compliance.
all city codes applicable to this development.
okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion or questions? Kathy, roll call?
Chairman Davis?
Yes.
Sorry, Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Gerba?
Yes.
It's a coup.
All right.
Keep your eye on this guy.
No.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir, and look forward to having a good corporate partner, City of Yukon. Any new business, Mitchell?
No new business, Mr. Chairman.
Any open discussion?
I do have some open discussion.
Okay?
Next month, if you'd like, we'd like to discuss amendments to the sign ordinance in reference to billboards and maybe possibly have a study session. And
Oh,
then
good.
have a vote on it. And the other question we have, does anybody still have any of the old code books, the ordinance books, the black book? If so.
You mean the big,
Yeah.
like this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do, we'd like for you to turn them in because the ordinance has changed. So,
Now his back door is going to blow shut. Just let him have it.
yeah. The question becomes, what they would like to do is give the chair and the vice chair a ordinance book, and they'd like the rest of us to go online and use that if possible.
Okay.
So will this include electronic signs?
This would be electronic signs in reference to billboards on I-40.
Okay, our next meeting is set for November 13th, 2017. If there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned.